Assess the extent to which the use of propaganda by Stalin's regime changed Soviet society. Stalin's regime, 1928-1953, deployed propaganda on an unprecedented scale, using it as a central tool to shape beliefs, behaviors, and social norms in the Soviet Union. Through the cult of personality, control of media, education, arts, and targeted campaigns, propaganda aimed to create the new Soviet man and woman devoted to the state, socialism, and Stalin personally. The question is the extent to which this effort genuinely changed Soviet society, meaning fundamental shifts in values, social relations, culture, and everyday behavior, as opposed to merely enforcing outward compliance. Propaganda achieved substantial change in certain areas, particularly in creating widespread acceptance of Stalin's leadership, promoting industrial enthusiasm, reshaping youth identity, and altering public attitudes toward religion and national identity. However, its impact was uneven. Private beliefs often diverged from public conformity. Traditional attitudes, especially in family life and rural areas, proved resilient, and terror force frequently underpinned apparent successes rather than ideological conversion alone. Overall, propaganda transformed the public sphere and institutional structures far more than it eradicated older mentalities or created a fully Sovietized private life. One of the clearest areas of transformation was the cult of personality around Stalin himself. Posters, newspapers, e.g. Pravda, films, literature, and sculptures portrayed Stalin as an infallible father figure, wise leader, and successor to Lenin. History was rewritten to inflate his role in the revolution while erasing Trotsky and others. This propaganda fostered genuine enthusiasm among many, especially urban workers and younger generations who benefited from social mobility. During the 5-year plans, Stakhanovite propaganda, celebrating record-breaking workers like Alexei Stakhanov, encouraged emulation and linked personal effort to patriotic duty. Surveys and diaries from the period show that significant numbers internalized the view of Stalin as protector and genius, helping legitimize the regime during industrialization and the Great Patriotic War. This represented a real change in political culture. Loyalty shifted from party ideology toward a personalized devotion to the leader, marking a departure from Lenin's more collective style. Propaganda also significantly reshaped youth and education. Schools, pioneer organizations, and Komsomol became vehicles for indoctrination. Textbooks glorified Stalin, emphasized Marxist-Leninist ideology, and promoted Soviet patriotism, especially after 1936, with growing Russification elements. Discipline became strict after 1932-1935 reforms reversed earlier experimental approaches. Many young people responded positively. Komsomol members often volunteered enthusiastically for industrial projects or denounced enemies. This created a generational shift. Urban youth increasingly saw themselves as builders of socialism, distinct from their peasant or religious parents. Education levels rose dramatically. Illiteracy was largely eliminated, tying social advancement to acceptance of regime values. Thus, propaganda helped forge a more ideologically aligned younger cohort, altering long-term social attitudes. The regime's use of propaganda regarding women and family produced more ambiguous results. Early Stalinist rhetoric continued revolutionary promises of equality. Women entered the workforce in huge numbers, approaching 50% by the late 1930s, benefited from expanded education and healthcare, and appeared in propaganda as tractor drivers, pilots, and Stakhanovites. However, from the mid-1930s, policy and propaganda swung toward pronatalism and traditional roles. Abortion was banned, 1936, divorce restricted, homosexuality recriminalized, and motherhood glorified. Medals for large families, the heroine mother title. Propaganda promoted the stable nuclear family as a socialist virtue. While female participation in paid labor remained high, a lasting change, private attitudes often resisted the double burden of work and home. Many women conformed outwardly, but retained traditional views on gender. Propaganda modified public discourse and policy, but did not fully revolutionize family values or gender relations. Religion and national identity saw dramatic but incomplete transformation. The League of Militant Atheists and relentless anti-religious campaigns, 1928-1941, closed churches, arrested clergy, and ridiculed faith in schools and media. By the late 1930s, open religious practice had sharply declined in urban areas. Yet belief persisted privately, especially in rural regions. Many retained icons and rituals secretly. During WWII, Stalin pragmatically eased pressure and used Russian Orthodox patriotism. Similarly, propaganda initially promoted internationalism, but increasingly emphasized Russian leadership, and friendship of peoples while Russifying non-Russian areas. This shifted public national consciousness towards Soviet Russian primacy, but ethnic identities and religious loyalties endured underground. Limits to propaganda's reach must be emphasized. Recent historical work, e.g., on shadow culture and private letters, reveals widespread cynicism, jokes about Stalin and private dissent, even as people participated in public rituals. Propaganda was most effective when aligned with real benefits, jobs, education, victory in war, or backed by fear denunciation, purges. In isolated rural areas or among older generations, traditional outlooks often survived. Full internalization of the new Soviet man ideal was rare. Many adopted dual consciousness, public conformity, alongside private skepticism. In conclusion, Stalin's propaganda changed Soviet society to a very significant extent in the public domain: political culture, youth socialization, industrial work ethic, and official ideology. It helped consolidate the regime, mobilize society for rapid modernization, and create outward unity. However, it did not eradicate older values, religious belief, or private dissent as thoroughly as intended. The combination of propaganda with terror produced compliance far more than genuine conversion in many cases. Therefore, while propaganda was instrumental in reshaping key aspects of Soviet society, its transformative power should not be overstated. It was profound but partial and often superficial rather than total.